Welcome to Sci-Fi Stories. If you love stories of courage and mystery, make sure to subscribe and join our growing community.
Queen Zyra of the Felinar Sovereignty stood alone in the cathedral-sized viewport of her flagship Sovereign's Claw. Beyond the reinforced crystal stretched a graveyard of shattered ships and frozen debris. The Catherine border ring was gone, reduced to drifting metal and dying radiation. Somewhere in that ruin was her daughter, Princess Lissa, 23 rotations old, commander by rank, fire by temperament. Zyra had warned her. Lissa had smiled. Strength is proven in battle, mother. Now, the battle was over, and strength meant nothing. 3 cycles had passed since the orbital core detonation. Salvage crews found no intact life pods, no transponders, no miracle. General Vitus approached with the stiffness of someone who feared words. Your Majesty, confirmation stands. No survivors. Zyra did not respond. Her species did not weep loudly. Their grief lived behind their ribs. Sharp, quiet, endless. Leave? Vitus obeyed. She remained, watching stars drift through the debris of her failure. Across the graveyard, something small moved. A civilian salvage cutter, outdated, patched together with human stubbornness and mismatched alloy plates. Inside sat Eldon Ward, former Terran expeditionary medic, current broke independent salvager, owner of one AI with more sarcasm than sense. Arya, he muttered as debris pinged against his shields. Anything worth selling in this metal soup? Multiple military-grade fragments, the AI replied. Also detecting anomaly. Eldon leaned forward. Define anomaly. Emergency life pod. Faint biosignature. Radiation interference high. He froze. 3 days after a core blast? That's not possible. Correct? Arya replied. But it is happening. Humans had a reputation. Persistence predators. They chased prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. They chased hope the same way. Lock trajectory. The pod was wedged deep inside the destroyer hull fragment. Scorched, cracked, forgotten. Eldon cut it free with delicate precision. When the hatch hissed open, a figure collapsed into his arms. Silver fur streaked with ash. Armor fractured. Pulse barely detectable. Easy, he whispered automatically, slipping into medic mode. Arya projected a scan. Multiple fractures, severe dehydration, acute radiation poisoning, immediate intervention required. Eldon did not hesitate. For 21 hours he worked. Human physiology carried advantages most species found unsettling. Immune flexibility, rapid adaptation, the ability to synthesize emergency treatments from limited resources. He reset bones, flashed toxins, adjusted radiation scrubbers, spoke softly even when she could not hear him. At hour 19, his hands trembled from stimulant overload. At hour 21, amber eyes opened, confused, burning, alive. You're safe, he said in broken Felinar dialect. She blinked. My fleet? I'm sorry. She tried to sit up. He gently pressed her shoulder. Don't. 3 fractures still knitting. You're stubborn, not invincible. Her gaze sharpened. You're human? Last I checked. Her eyes moved to her uniform sleeve. Eldon followed the motion and felt his stomach drop. Royal crest. Princess designation. Oh no. The transmission hit the Felinar flagship like a thunderclap. A human salvage pilot claimed Princess Lissa lived. General Vitus snarled immediately. Psychological warfare. Verify, Zyra ordered. Encryption keys exchanged. Biometric scans confirmed. Then the video feed activated. There she was, pale, weak, but breathing. Mother, the single word shattered 3 days of royal composure. The massive warship approached Eldon's cutter with impossible gentleness. Docking umbilical extended like a reaching hand, Eldon expected interrogation, maybe arrest, possibly execution, if he'd unknowingly violated some territorial statute. Instead, the docking bay doors opened, and Queen Zyra herself stood waiting, 7 feet of silver black fur and controlled power, surrounded by armed guards. Lissa stepped forward, supported by Elden's arm. For a heartbeat, the galaxy held still. Then Zyra crossed the deck in 3 fluid strides and pulled her daughter into her arms. A low keening sound filled the bay. Felinar grief reversed into relief. After a long moment, Zyra turned her gaze to Elden. He felt like a particularly small mammal. "You returned what my fleet could not," she said quietly. He scratched the back of his neck. "Just doing salvage." Her whiskers twitched. "Medical logs indicate 21 hours without rest. You depleted your reserves stabilizing cross-species treatments." He blinked. "Arya talks too much." "She transmits efficiently," Zyra corrected. Silence settled. "You saw a stranger," the queen continued. "An alien royal. Potential ransom? Political leverage?" Elden shrugged. "I saw a patient." The guards shifted. Zyra stepped closer. "You ask compensation?" He thought of overdue ship payments. Of medical school debt still haunting him. "Standard salvage fee," he said carefully. "And maybe a letter of marque so your patrols don't vaporize me on sight." A ripple of disbelief passed through the officers. Zyra studied him. "You request crumbs. Crumbs pay fuel." The queen's amber eyes softened. "You will receive the letter. A sovereign salvage charter, protected trade access within Felinar space." Elden opened his mouth to protest. She raised a claw slightly. "And the title." He blinked. "Title? Blade Friend of the Royal House." He stared. "That sounds expensive." "It is." Later, within royal quarters, Lissa rested while Zyra sat beside her. "Why him?" Lissa asked quietly. "He is a scavenger." Zyra smoothed her daughter's fur. "When my armadas failed," she said softly, "one human refused to accept statistical certainty." She gazed toward the viewport where stars shimmered. "They do not surrender to probability. They treat the impossible as inconvenience." Lissa smiled faintly. He called it just salvaging. Zyra's whiskers curved. "Yes." She paused. "That is what unsettles elder civilizations." "In what way?" "They do miracles and act confused when praised." In the docking corridor, Elden argued with a protocol officer about formal attire. "I own one jumpsuit," he insisted. "It's technically clean." The officer stared in diplomatic despair. Meanwhile, across Felinar space, the story spread. A human salvager found a dead princess in a dead system and decided she wasn't dead enough. Grief turned to gratitude. A minor salvager became a named ally. And in the quiet mathematics of the universe, human persistence earned compound interest. Because when humans see a flicker in the void, they chase it, and they do not stop.